an attorney-at-law sought redress from the Supreme Court today, filing a fundamental rights petition against the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption for failing to investigate a complaint lodged by him over members of Parliament reselling duty-free vehicles they had received to other persons.
In his petition, attorney-at-law Nagananda Kodituaku says that the Sayabok has failed to execute its statutory duties by failing to act on a plausible complaint lodged by him on corruption against the members of Parliament and the Cabinet of Ministers who have patently abused the public office to defraud the government's tax revenues for unjust enrichment. The petition cites 93 respondents, including the Attorney General, the Prime Minister and 83 members of Parliament. Kodituaku has also submitted to court, based on information he had received from the Department of the Commission of Motor Traffic, information on 27 members of Parliament who had resold vehicles to third parties.
American Hummer Jeep
The customs duty for a Hummer Jeep from America is about 43 million rupees. It is about 33.5 million for a Toyota Land Cruiser. They have been given permits to import vehicles by passing all these taxes. They sell these permits on the open market for 25 to 30 million. One of these vehicles cost about 42 million in total to import. So when about 25 to 30 million goes to the minister, 8 million is paid for the cost of the vehicles and another 5 to 6 million goes to the vendor. So 42 million in tax rupees, which should be going to the people, has been deprived. Each vehicle is 33 million. An American vehicle is about 42 million. For all 225 members of Parliament, it amounts to about 7 billion rupees. Section 70 of the Bribery Act clearly states that it is a criminal offence if any government official acts in a way to confer a benefit, favour or advantage on himself or any person. While parliamentarians have been given permits to import vehicle duty-free, a proposal has been put forward for 58 selected MPs to lease luxury motor vehicles. Only one of the 58 members selected has refused. Further examination of the petition filed at the Supreme Court also reveals that several MPs who had sold their permits to third parties are among the 58 who will be receiving luxury motor vehicles. The monthly lease amount for the 58 MPs is 590,000. When you add the VAT and NBT, it is about 700,000. So a cabinet paper was put forward by the Finance Ministry to provide vehicles for a monthly lease of 700,000 rupees, and that paper has been forwarded to the Economic Committee on the 31st of October. Honourable Speaker, the VAT comes into effect from the 1st of November. On the 31st of October, the Economic Committee makes a decision and informs the Parliamentary Affairs Ministry to import the vehicles after selecting a company. First, all MPs receive a permit. While this remains, Honourable Speaker, they are hoping to obtain vehicles on a 60-month lease, and the lease amount is higher than the market value. It is clear that it would cost about 42 million and that the government will have to pay 2,436 million for these 58 MPs. It has also been said that even after paying this sum, the state will not have ownership of the vehicles. So there is a reasonable suspicion of serious financial fraud. Honourable Speaker, the MP's terms will only go on for another 45 months, but they are trying to sign agreements for 60-month lease. How can this be done? This is a ransom. You're paying MPs off in order to sustain the government. Meanwhile, the Secretary of the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs and Mass Media says that the documents pertaining to the leasing of vehicles have not been signed.
From the time this cabinet paper was submitted, the process for procurement has not been followed. The second factor is that as per the amendment to the cabinet paper, the number of installments has been set at 60 months, at 700,000 rupees per installment. The tenure of the parliament is 45 months. That means part of these installments will cascade over to the following parliament, and the members of that parliament would be bound by the terms and conditions of this agreement. Accordingly, the members of the 9th Parliament of Sri Lanka will be affected by this if the 8th Parliament was to implement it. My argument is that you cannot bind a subsequent parliament to the terms and conditions of an agreement that has been signed by a previous parliament. This cabinet paper has to be amended by a subsequent paper, and the number of installments would have to be reduced to 45. Accordingly, the payment per installment will increase to around 900 or 950,000 rupees. According to the system, neither the parliamentarian nor the parliament stands to benefit. The only one who benefits is the company. That is why I am saying that this agreement should be amended and then submitted to the Attorney General for his approval before I am to sign it. I will have an issue with it if this is not followed.
සංමතයක අත්සන් කිරීමේ ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා කියලා.